Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim HaKadosh, double honors to the Apostle Elders, the great military, talking to the truth that rule well. Citations to the Akim out there pushing the truth with all sincerity when their lives to do so. Citations to the hopeful elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Shalom. I got two articles here that I want to go into, pertaining to the mark of the beast. This first article has to do with the digital currency, that Esau Edom is planning to, change the monetary system to digital, and it's going to help introduce, the mark of the beast, because they're going to microchip, the whole world, and this article goes into, the other nations, they're all on board with the, going into this transition of the digital currency, and we're going to bring that out here in this article. It says Russia sees no need to issue a national digital currency. The Central Bank of the Russian Federation is not keen on issuing a national digital currency. Elvira Nebulina, if I'm saying that right, head of central bank, said that the regulator has been studying a topic of digital currency, but sees no obvious need to issue a national cryptocurrency. Yeah, so they was in Russia. They was talking about actually, going into trying to work on a digital currency. But now she's saying, this leader, the so-called leader, she's saying like, well, she sees no need for it currently, But the truth of the matter is, all these nations are going to actually, go and have a digital currency, because it's going to lead into the mark of the beast, in that hour of temptation that we're all going to have to face, So they actually, Russia, they started, working on it, but then they, I guess the idea of it, them doing so kind of is on the wayside currently, but they're gonna go and actually, convert into digital currency, because that's all part of prophecy. I'm reading on. Nebulina, I'm guessing that's her name, if I'm saying it right again, made the remarks at a forum on Thursday, as reported by Russia News Agency TASS, not only for technological reasons, but also because it is difficult to really estimate what advantages will the national digital currency give. For example, in comparison with existing electronic non-cash payments, there are many risks, and the advantages may not be obvious enough, Nebulina added. Interesting, in June, Nebulina said that the central bank was considering launching a digital currency. Yeah, so they considered it. They was actually going to, working on a way to, bring in digital currency, and which they are going to do. Though such a project cannot be realized immediately, with her today remarks that the idea seems to have been but put to rest. In the meanwhile, China's central bank is ready to launch its digital yuan later this year or early next year. Germany's finance minister Olaf Scholz also recently said that he is in favor of a national digital euro. Switzerland's central bank is also exploring a blockchain-based digital currency. So as you can see, all these nations are, hopping on board, the digital currency train, because this is going to help lead in the mark of the beast. Last week, U.S. lawmakers also asked the country's central bank, the Federal Reserve, to consider developing a digital dollar, as the nature of money is changing. Yeah, and COVID-19, has a big is a big reason why they want to transition into a digital currency. because they're trying to blame the transmission of the COVID virus on the monetary system that we currently have. Paper dollars. You know what I'm saying? Coins or whatnot, and they saying that coronavirus can lay on the surface of money for up to 28 days. So to eliminate that factor, or to prevent the transmission of this COVID virus, they want to do away with the monetary system, and that'll help eliminate the transmission of this virus or whatnot. This is another article, Euro News. I think this is an article that took place, was written back in May, of 2020. The year of prophecy, deemed by the Apostle Tahor through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It reads, will microchip implants be the next big thing in Europe? Thousands of Swedes have been pioneering the use of futuristic microchips that are implanted under the skin of the hand, which is going into the physical mark that you're going to have to take to survive in society. The technology is used for everyday tasks like accessing your smartphone, opening the front door, or setting an alarm. And this is also going into they want to have smart cities, and that's all going to come into play. It's all going to tie in together. The microchip and the smart cities that they're going to have. In order for things to function in society, everything's going to be all linked into one system. With the RFID chip. Those behind the microchips, the size of a rice grain, are implanted via a syringe, are working to access other parts of Europe. Eric Larson, who leads Biohex Italia, is waiting for an approval in Italy from the medical centuries in the health ministry. He said he expects to implant a chip into about 2,500 people in the first 6 to 8 months in Milan and Rome. Even without health ministry certification, Biohex Italia has already been able to embed these chips into a few hundred people with the help of a medical century. It is a step towards the future. It is extremely futuristic, although it is already happening. This technology was born to help us, to give us small superpowers. Larson told Euro News, because Esau Edom, he knows that spiritual power is going to be given to the nation of Israel, and he wants to create his own supernatural powers, because he wants to be, like the Most High. He wants to be like his people. That's why he's coming up with this technology. To create this superhuman that he wants to be, because he knows that supernatural abilities are going to be given to the nation of Israel in the Lord's coming. The elect men that the Lord's going to raise up, they're going to have supernatural ability, and the nation of Israel altogether, we're going to be immortal, and we're going to have superpowers. And Esau Edom, he's envious of that, and he wants to have his own supernatural ability, and that's what he's creating all this technology to do, because he has the power to do these things on the left hand side, that was given to him by the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But his plan was not going to be accomplished, because the Lord is going to destroy this place before that can happen. But but COVID-19 could make people more apprehensive about their business, Larson said, due to public concerns about the contact tracing application introduced by the governments during the pandemic, we are seeing that a lot of people in Italy are not happy with adding a GPS or something that can track our movement that might be a danger for us, he explained. Yeah, but radio frequency that's what the RFID chip is. So no matter what, they're still going to be able to track you or whatnot. But the end game is that, what I'm saying, they want to put this mark in you so they can deem you as their property, and they are going to track you. It's going to have, all your information is going to be on this microchip, and they're going to go into that in this article. Knowing we are not tracking movements, we don't have GPS inside, but I think that a lot of people are not aware of that. Now it goes into removing the need for a wallet. So that shows you, like, if they're going to remove the need for a wallet, that means that you're going to have the capability to buy or sell with this chip, which goes into the mark of the beast that John the Revelator saw the vision of in Revelations 13 and 16. So for all these camps that go out and say that the mark of the beast is not a physical thing, you're gonna have to. It's a thing such as Christianity or whatnot, or what you believe. Like, how are you gonna buy and sell? With Christianity, it's not a belief or whatnot, or sleeping with white women, or John Revelation. What is it now? It's like John 3:16. You know what I'm saying? That's not the mark of the beast. It's none of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a physical object, which is the RFID microchip that they're going to use with a syringe to, cut into your flesh, which goes into the carotid. That mark. But knowing Swedish IT solutions planner Martin Lewin uses the two microchips in his hand for things like logging into the computer, setting the office alarm, and launching his linked profile, but using them as an alternative to cash or card payments is expected to be the tipping point for the technology. It's no different than just removing the need for a wallet, removing the need for a keychain, removing the need for all these disconnected tokens that only create risk, because if you lose them, you lose your identity, said the former body piercer Johan Osterland, who's behind the startup of Biohex International. Yeah, so they're gonna make it a thing of conveniences, like, so you can always lose your wallet, you can always use your phone, because these things you can also use for payments. But this right here, you can never lose. How you gonna lose your hand unless you cut it off, or your head? So the selling point is gonna be a thing of conveniency, and you always have access to your money, you always have access to your identity, so that there won't be you don't have to worry about identity theft, because anybody can steal your identity now. But if they put a chip with your name, your social security, the date of birth, and all that inside of you, it's going to be deemed to, they're going to know that, okay, this is so and so, so they can't, just identity can't be taken. Really knowing, if you lose your key, you won't get into your house. If someone else gets your key, they can basically claim your house in some countries. In Sweden, the microchips can be used as a train ticket, but Lewin hopes that he will soon be able to make payments with them. That's what I hope will become a basic function, he told the Euronews. I look forward to an ecosystem where the chip is able to provide all types of access, where your identity can be carried with you in a simple way. Yeah, that's all about convenience. It's like it for the noise on our side. Plane flying over. Just wait for the plane to pass. plantation. Sometimes I like to come to the rooftop, you know, do these videos while I'm at work. But anyway, reading on. But the technology hasn't taken off as quickly as he is expected. It's taking longer than what I thought and hoped. It was 3 years ago that I got my chip implanted. It looks like it looks like it'll be another year before the chip will work for making payments. Larson said with it in Italy, Biohex is talking to Vodafone and PayPal to attempt, if I said that right, to attempt to make that happen. A company in the United Kingdom, Biotech, is also working to create contactless payments with implanted microchips. Stephen Northern, the director of UK from Biotech, said this is the tipping point to mass adoption as the company receives daily inquiries about payment implants. But it seems that technology hasn't moved as fast as some would have expected. Sweden's train operator SJ said that they were ending their microchips trial after a small increase over the last 2 years, bringing the total number of users to 3,000. A spokesperson for SJ said that although they're keeping the technology available, they will move in another direction. People are apprehensive. The microchips use near-field communications, NFC, and radio frequency identification. You know, that's with the RFID chip. To communicate with a system, they are radio waves read at close contact. It is essentially the same as technology. It is essentially the same technology that is in your phone or your debit card, explains Dr. Robert Van Eyck, the managing director for Europe at the Future of Privacy Forum. When you hold it close to a sensor, yeah. So that shows you that, you know, Esau Edom has been gradually introducing his mark of the beast, because, you know, this same technology, as they're saying, is in your phone and in your debit cards or your credit cards. You know, before, you know, they didn't have, you know, the RFID chip or the chip on your card. You know, they just you know, introduced that a few years ago or whatnot. Because before, when you had debit cards, you just swipe and go. But now you got to insert a chip into, you know, to make payments. You know, going to show that, you know, this is just gradual. Though they're slowly introducing, you know, their mark. They get you used to these things, so, you know, then they're gonna hit you, you know, with their true intent, you know. But that's how, you know, the devil works. Esau Edom, you know, the so-called white man, who is the devil in flesh, you know, he's deceiving you, you know, and preparing you to, you know, to bow down to his introduction to his new world order. You know, he's trying to get you used to, he's conditioning you to get used to what's to come. You know, so that's why they do it gradually. They do it over a process of time, you know, to get you comfortable, you know, so you can, you know, can not have too much resistance with it. But I mean, there's still going to be people that's going to resist. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, in the end, a lot of them, they're going to bow down, because he's going to make it real hard for you to survive, you know, in society. Because if you can't eat, or you can't work, or you can't, you know, have money to buy or sell, you know, how are you going to survive? And you know, he's going to take all these things away from you, all the luxuries that you used to having in Babylon, in the world, you know. he's gonna take these things away from you and make you suffer. So he's gonna force you to bow down unto him. For those that lack faith, they're gonna take the mark. But those that are in the know, those are the hopeful elect. They're not gonna take the mark of the beast. And this goes to show that with the digital currency, and this mark, this is something that's not only going to be in Babylon, but this is going to be throughout the whole world. Because you got to remember that the nation of Israel is scattered throughout the four corners of the world. And we look like all different other nations. So with nations like China and Russia and Japan. Even there's a brother from Hawaii. The brother from Hawaii, I think his name is Gabar. If I'm not mistaken. If I am, please forgive me. But he did a video going into Japan. They got a commercial with the RFID chip. Showing you that they're also ready to make the transition. This is something that's going to be done throughout the whole world. This is not something that just going to be done here in Babylon. This devil going to have the whole world bow down into him. Because he wants the whole world to be into servitude unto him. And then we're all going to have to face that test, because the nation of Israel, again, just scattered into the four corners of the earth. So they're all going to have to be presented, with this mark. Reading on, it possesses the same known data protection issues, including the possibility that someone could pick up the signal. It's similar to listening into a directional microphone. You can pick up the RFID signal as well. Explain Ejek, if I'm saying his name right, who used to work for the Dutch Data Protection Authority. In theory, it could be used in a way that it makes you to stand out. That it makes you to stand out a crowd as a meaning to signal out you as an individual in a group. If you're the only one wearing a biochip and everyone else is not wearing them, he added. So pretty much that's a GPS sensor. You know what I'm saying? Like they said that, they won't be able to track you, but if everybody has this frequency, they'll be able to know that everybody's chip. Just like you're saying here, he's saying that, if you don't have a chip, then it won't be able to detect you. But if you do have a chip, it will be able to detect you and know if you have a chip. You know what I'm saying? So what is that? That's tracking, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But do I want to read anymore? Let's see. Yeah, I'll read a little bit more. In theory, I read that. All right. It could also get into more complicated data privacy issues if the future versions of these chips track your health or other information. Ejek pointed out, the only information you ever got about implants is Hollywood pop culture, and when it's Hollywood pop culture, it's either a giant GPS that Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls out of his nose, or a KGB Palladium, or a tracking device. So people are apprehensive, said Orslin. It's like it. But many of his customers will get these implants simply to launch their linked accounts to share their profile more quickly. They're surprised to learn that it is cheaper than they imagine at 100 euros or 150 euros. I guess that's what that's stating. Orslin said they are working with partners so that these microchips contain health information. In the event that someone is brought unconscious to the hospital, a paramedic can scan the chip and get information about allergies or pre-existing conditions. Yeah. So this chip is going to have all your information on it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing of conveniency that they're going to sell it to you. They're going to be like, it's a tracking device. It'll prevent your kids you know, if your kids get kidnapped, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna feel comfortable, you know, because they always want to sell you, you know, on the promote fear into you with the you know, your kids being kidnapped, you know, due to child trafficking, you know what I'm saying, what these devils are highly into, you know. So that's going to be a selling point. Hey, you know, you might want to microchip your kid because, you know, this will help prevent them from being kidnapped or whatnot. We can always locate them, you know, and it'll cut down on or do away with child trafficking, you know, along with, you know, it'll provide you all the information if something does happen to you, you get in an accident, and you know, you're unconscious and you don't know who you are, you know, they can, you know, scan your chip and get all your information, where you live, you know, how, if you're married, you're not married, you know what I'm saying, how many kids you got, you know what I'm saying, you know, what's your medical condition, what are you allergic to, what you're not allergic to, all that information will be on your chip, you know. So they're gonna sell you as a thing of conveniency, like you said. They said earlier in the article, it was reading that you're gonna have access to your homes, your computers, you know what I'm saying, your job, you know, you can buy and sell with it, you know. It's all gonna be a thing of convenience, because, you know, like the article was saying, like if you lose your house key, somebody else can, you know, well, in certain countries they were saying, like, if somebody else finds your key and they go to your home, they can claim your house as their own, you know. So, you know, with this microchip, you know what I'm saying, in the future, which is very near, you know, this is, you know, we're gonna see this during our lifetime, because we're at the end. This is the end days that, you know, the Lord has, you know, warned us about, that He has His prophets on the highways and byways preaching unto us, you know, that this mark was going to come and this day was going to come, that we're going to have to, you know, face the hour of temptation to receive this mark, and it's here. You know, the prophets, you know, of the Lord has been on the highways and byways for years talking about this. You know, Elder Apostle Hart and GMS, you know, and his men, you know, who are the true men of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, they've been warning, you know, the world about this for many years now, 20, 30 plus years. You know, they've been, you know, talking about, you know, this mark of the beast being presented into the world, you know, and it's here now, you know what I'm saying? And we're all gonna be faced with that, you know, that temptation, you know, to take this mark. But the Lord is only going to deliver, you know, those of the hopeful elect during that time. But yeah, you know, this chip is going to have everything on it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a thing of convenience, and a lot of people, you know, they're going to accept this thing, you know, because they're going to be like, it's just a changing of time. You know, we're doing away with cash. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to struggle without having, you know, monies. You know, so in order for you to have money, you're going to have this chip, and you know, and everything else, you know, that the chip has to offer is going to be sold as a thing of conveniency. So a lot of people are going to be on board with it, and there are going to be people that are going to be against it, you know, and that's when, you know, all the chaos is going to, you know, take place, you know, because we're rolling into the times, or we are in the beginning times of Jacob's trouble currently, but things are going to get worse, because they gotta have to present this mark. And you know, COVID-19 is you know, just a precursor into, you know, them rolling out the mark of the beast, because this vaccination that they're coming up with, that's also going to be mandated. You know, in the beginning, it's going to be introduced as a thing of, you know, hey, you need to get this vaccination to be safe. And the same thing with the RFID chip. You know, it's going to be introduced as a thing to, you know, it's for your convenience or it's for your safety. But then, you know, this devil, he's going to get fed up, because it's, you know, his time is short, and he's going to just force it upon you. He's going to, you know, start, you know, the Lord is going to unleash him and let him do what He created him to do. You know. But that's pretty much it for this article. So let's get, you know, let's go to the scriptures. This is Revelation 13:16. Any cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name. Here is the wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 636. So again, as you know, the mark of the beast is a physical mark, and you can't buy or sell without it. And that's what they, going into the articles, it's evident that, this is something that, this is a physical thing that we're going to have to receive in order to function in society. That's why, the world's going into the phase of a digital currency and getting away from paper monies or whatnot. So in order for you to survive in a society, you're going to have to adapt to this devil's way. Or if not, you're going to be put to death at his hands. But, if you do take the mark, you're going to be put to death. And we're going to get that here. Yahweh Shem El Shai is going to put you to death if you receive this devil's mark. Revelation 14:19. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, so those that have received this mark, in the right hands of their foreheads, which is, the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, you're going to be destroyed, at the hands of Yahweh Shem El Shai. So that's pretty much it. Kol Halo Yahweh Shem El Shai. Shalom.